Okay. This is gonna be a bottom of the well chus tutorial with ocarina dive. And I'm sure you've seen people do it before, but I'm just gonna do it real fast just to run through it and show you what it kind of looks like. First, and then I'm gonna go and explain it more in detail. The way I do it might not even be the best way. I know there's a ton of other tutorials out there on how to do this, but I'm just gonna explain the way that I do it, and hopefully it's helpful in some way. That's basically it. It's basically what happens. So, I'm gonna go through it more step by step and explain it more in depth and different things that could happen, stuff like that. So, I mean, the spider is gonna swing to the left first, all the time. I get hit by the spider like almost every single time, okay? But what I do is I try and stay to the left of it because it's gonna swing to the left first, and so you have to wait for it to swing to the right. I want to say it just kind of takes practice, but see, I still got hit. It doesn't even matter, whatever. Then you're gonna want to get ISG. And you can get ISG off of this pot, and it's so fast because the text can go fast, and he put his sword away. You could also get if you get the stick normally, I guess, and it kind of messes up. You can get ISG off of this. You can get ISG off of the spider, or the bubble, I guess, if you wanted. But you could also get ISG right here. I've seen some people do this. But my GZ also has switch targeting on. The reason I like to use the Deku Stick is because you wouldn't have to put your sword away just like that. With the pot, with the Deku Stick, it already puts your sword away. Okay, once you backwalk all the way here, this is the hole. This is the hole that you're gonna be diving into, and this is the corner that's really important. Whenever we actually do the ocarina dive, we're gonna have inverted camera, so I just wanted to show you that this is where we're gonna be. So, the setup to get, we have to be in a really specific place with inverted camera, with a specific setup. So, the way I do it is that wall that's parallel to this wall, that wall all the way back there that I used to backwalk all the way here, just so you have this flat angle with the bottom of the well squared, okay? Just to have this flat angle. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold Z target and hold down a little bit and press A to do this side roll. But when you're doing the side roll, you want to let go of everything. So now, and then you retarget. So now you have this angle. Now what you're going to want to do is turn 90 degrees to the left. But you can't shield turn or else you'll lose ISG. So you have to S-turn to the left 90 degrees. And then you're going to want to get inverted camera, which you are going to need to do for Gerudo Gate Skip ground clip, and you need to do it here. So I don't know if you know how to do inverted camera. All I do is I just press down, target down really fast. Well, I press forward, I let go of everything, press forward, and then press down, target down really fast. I don't really know what the specific frames are. I know you can buffer it. I'm sure there's tutorials out there on how to buffer inverted cam. But if you just press down, target down really fast. I found that if you press forward, if you press forward a little bit before you press down, target down, it makes it a lot easier. But I mean, I still fail it sometimes. But as long as you keep this angle, and as long as you get inverted camera, then you walk all the way against this wall, all the way into this corner, and we're gonna backflip on the bubble with forward. You have to press forward to backflip because we have inverted camera. So it's more like the controls are based on how your camera is looking, but I don't know. I guess it kind of makes sense to backflip this way. But we're gonna backflip on the bubble, and there's a huge window on the bubble being on this corner. There's like he kind of waits a second as he's taking this turn, and you have a lot of time. Okay, after you get the hover, you can let go of Z target, and now you're gonna press left, mash hookshot, and slowly go from left to up left. So I'm gonna press left, mash hookshot, and go from left to up left, and he's gonna fall. And as he's falling, you can let go of everything. You don't need to hold Z or anything in this whole thing. And now you're down here. Press B to get out of the ocarina cutscene. And now we're gonna walk toward that land. That land over there. There's like some water here. I don't really know why. We're just gonna go all the way over here. Okay. So now... this next part, this is like the second half of getting chus, is the swim. And I feel like the swim gives a lot of people some trouble. But don't worry, we got the strats. So, I know a lot of people... Okay, so there's water right here that you're about to swim into, right? I know a lot of people try and stay like parallel to this line right here, and then they backwalk into the water. I found that it's not 100% consistent. I found that if you kind of make Link face in between this line and the log, that brown log right there, just being a little to the left of parallel to this works. You can also be a little off center, you know, of it here, and holding Z target. This angle really works. Just being directly up and down with this line, I feel like doesn't work for me all the time. If you see any of my runs, I really try and get in between this line and this log. Anywhere here, it'll basically work. Okay? So now we're gonna backwalk into the water, and we're gonna swim straight up. Don't press anything, just press Z. I feel like this is the weirdest. This is the weirdest part. We're just gonna float straight up. Once you get into the water, just watch his little feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe like 4 to 6 little kicks. Does that make sense? One more time. You wanna float just straight up. Just wait for his little feet to go. You can use the visual cue of the poison if you want. But after a while, you're gonna hold down right. And he's gonna clip. Just like that. You can tell that he clips because the camera... You can tell when he clips because the camera... 2, 3, 4... His little feet are kicking. The camera like goes underwater and then comes back out. That's how you tell that he clips. But you have like a huge... You have a huge window. You're also gonna want to swim to the chus. If you don't, then you're gonna end up here. I was just demonstrating. Anyway, so you swim straight up. Don't hold anything. And then after a while, hold down right. I press B to swim faster. I don't think you have to. I just kind of have it. Now that he's clipped, I saw the camera and I see how far up I am. I just kind of let him swim up a little bit more and then I press forward. There's a huge window to press forward. You just don't want to end up back up. You just don't want to end up back up there where I was. You just want to swim forward to where you get here. If you press forward a little too soon and you don't feel like you're gonna make it, you can like jump slash, I think. You can jump slash into here if that helps, since you have a sword. I usually don't have a sword. But it's still a huge window. Swim straight up, just hold Z. After a little bit, press down right, clip, swim up a little bit more, press forward, and then you can get chus. Hopefully that's a good tutorial. If anything ever happens in the swim, like let's just say like you don't clip for some reason, like if you're right here and this kind of happens, if you get some angle and you really did everything right but you just still don't clip and you're just sitting right here, then you could always just fall down as a backup and just try again. Just get whatever angle you want. You can do an angle like over here. This one works. As long as you just swim straight up for a little while, just a few seconds. You can use your timer if you want, and then he'll clip, and then swim forward into this room. If you don't get ISG off of the pot, then you can use even this bubble here. Even if you didn't have ISG right here, you could get ISG off the bubble, and then just target this wall, and then do the setup. If you're trying to get inverted camera, make sure the bubble's not right here in front of you getting inverted camera, because you're going to be targeting and you don't want to target him. You also don't want to try and get inverted camera like right here, or else you're going to target this wall and it's going to mess up your angle. Don't try and get inverted camera like near any walls, because you're going to target the wall and it's going to mess up your angle. As long as you're pressing directly forward and directly down, you're never going to lose this angle. And if you go to do this hover, but then you land back on the ground, like if you land back like right here, then you, as long as you're still holding Z, you can just try the hover again. You can just try the hover again over and over. Even if you clash onto the bubble, sometimes you're not high enough, and the game will put you back on the ground. But once you're this high, then you can let go of Z. Once you get the hover, you can let go of Z. And this mashing ocarina thing, if it fails like that, then you would have to do the whole setup again. I know there's different ways to ocarina dive. Like, I know there are people that just flick a direction and press ocarina. I know that it's possible. I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure there's other tutorials out there that will explain things a little bit differently, and maybe a combination of all of them will help with bottom of the well. But I hope this tutorial helps. That's just how I do it. That's just how I think about it. But yeah, I hope it helps. Have a good rest of your day. Alright.